What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Ham Radio Campfire. I'm WA7PB. We also have James, K8PZN, and Hayden, KB3GRG. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I'm kind of missing my stalker right now. That way he could be playing me some mood music in the background. But other than that, I'm good.
How about you, Hayden?
We're doing good. Had a great time at a ham fest this morning and little beat, but other than that, we're doing good.
Which Ham Fest was that?
That would be the Arcadia Ham Father's Day Ham Fest put on by Baltimore Amateur Radio Club.
Huh. No, I wish I learned about that. I might have actually made the trip up there today. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. But you did something even cooler yesterday. You want to tell us about that?
Sure. We had a memorial POTA activation for Bob, W3RAR, and myself, a friend of mine, Keon, KE3HAY, and Bill, N3WD, which surprised me because I didn't know he was coming. So all three of us activated the park, made anywhere from 81 contacts, and just had a good old time and talked a lot of stories in between band changes. So we'd be on one band and we'd go QRT and look for another band, but then we wound up talking about things for about an hour before we actually made it back on the air. So it was a good time. We're gonna start doing it every year. It's gonna be on April 30th next year, and everybody's welcome to come.
Yeah, I really wanted to come, but like I said, I had to work, and I thought it was a horse race. Apparently, it was not a horse race. It's some sort of Caribbean music fest, so that took me
Oh,
off guard.
nice.
But yeah, it was kind of weird. Like it was at the horse race track, but they got a big semi truck and they just went around it in a really slow circle. It's kind of weird, but
That's
whatever.
cool.
It's a job and some money. We also have a special guest here tonight, Jason, KC5HWB. What's going on?
What's up, guys? How are y'all doing?
Oh, I'm doing
Doing
excellent.
Good. How are
doing
you?
great, man. Doing great. Good to see you.
Good. Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah, did you do any fun POTA stuff this weekend or?
I did not. No. Well, I tell you what, everybody was out yesterday. My ham alert on my phone was buzzing my watch all day long. I got alerts from Mike and Adam and Charlie and a couple other guys I follow, and a lot of people were out either POTA or SOTA yesterday. It's really hot out here in Texas. It's been like 98 to 100 degrees every day for the last week or so. So I haven't been out in a while. I've got 2 or 3 videos I need to record for Parks on the Air related stuff. So I plan to go out soon, but it's going to be after field day weekend. So I've got big plans for field day next weekend. And after that, I'll probably get back to Parks on the Air.
Yeah. How about the weather for you though, James, this weekend? How was it for you?
For me, this weekend's been amazing.
Yeah.
This week's been horrible, but yesterday and today it was in the like high 60s, low 70s, and I was loving life.
Yeah. Was it the same for you yesterday, Hayden? Was it like
Oh yeah, it
70?
was
Yeah.
74. Nice breeze. I even had to break out a jacket in the afternoon when the sun went down.
It was,
Wow.
I mean, I
Not
had
here.
not, I had nice weather, and I got my stalker playing mood music for my hunters, and I mean, it's just great.
Yeah, that was great.
Uh,
yeah, it was wonderful weather. I'm hoping tomorrow I can go out do a little activation. This weekend I had some family over and I had to work a little bit, so it is what it is. I'm hoping next weekend though for field day. I'm hoping next weekend the weather stays at least somewhat decent.
it probably won't. It's probably gonna be miserable hot next
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, that's the way it seems to be, right? It's like the weekend before and after, it's just gonna be amazing weather, and then field day weekend just gonna be horrible.
Sounds about right.
But yeah, it's gonna be my first field day in like about 6 years. So I
Where you actually going to?
whiskey 3 Delta, no whiskey 3 Mike. My bad, whiskey 3 Mike, which is in Damascus, Maryland, from Montgomery Amateur Radio Club.
Good deal. I will be Whiskey 8, Charlie, Charlie, Charlie.
Nice.
Charlie. We'll be Kilo November 5, Tango Radio. That's what we've done field day and winter field day for the last 3 years, I think. So that's where we'll be.
Yeah,
Hello, Toby.
Hi, Toby.
It's
Hi to all of you.
it's going to be a busy weekend because like when I'm not doing my rotation in field day, I have to jump in my vehicle and then go drive to a local park and do some park activating and then come back to field day and do my rotation. So
Yeah.
The curse that Vance has put on me about this park a day stuff, he has he has no idea what he's done.
Oh yeah. Well, Vance was like, I'm going to try to hunt a park a day. Well, you can hunt a park a day if you're at home every day.
Yeah.
Activating a park a day, that's a different story.
Yeah, it's been pretty brutal. I think the worst one was during the ice storm when I actually got stranded the first night, and I made it halfway home and went to my daughter's house. And then the next day, I was like, I'm not calling CQ. I'm going out and I'm doing FT8, getting my contacts, and then getting back. And that's what I did.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like start keeping track of like stats, James.
Or what kind of stats you want?
Like how many miles you've traveled, like how much gas did you have to buy?
No.
He doesn't want to know that.
If I keep track of that, I will probably be in either the mental ward or the hospital. So I'll give you an interesting stat. The very last park that I did for West Virginia, Workdoll, West Virginia, took me $120 in gas to go there and back.
Just do it as a tax write-off for your business, you know. There you go.
It's funny.
Yeah, though I think this weekend's gonna be pretty interesting with field day because like it's really like kind of the first year since the beginning of the pandemic. People are gonna probably actually be back out and about, not just sitting at home with amplifiers. So
very possible.
Well, didn't they limit it to 100 watts this year?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's not going to stop some people.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well,
Look at winter field day.
Yeah.
Like
just like the 5.9 QRPers.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I was just going to say. Like when I called QRP on a park activation, I got somebody 20 over. QRP!
Sheesh.
Yeah, so does anyone have any cool parks planned in the next week or so? Because I know field day is coming up, so.
No, in the next week, I'm going to be doing pretty much the same rotation of 7 or 8 parks. I'm working on 5 eagles. I want 5 eagles by the end of the year. So I'm working on, I've got like this little loop that I'm doing. And
now what's an eagle?
100 activations at one park.
Oh, okay.
I've got the first one done, Chief Logan. And I'm working on 4 more of them.
Okay.
You get. I forget what it's called. They give you something else if you got 5 eagles.
Okay.
So.
Do they?
Yeah.
That must be a new award because it used to just be.
No.
You get like ×2, ×3.
It's been out for a while. If you get 5, 10, 15, it's in intervals of 5. But nobody even has 10. 5 is the limit right now.
Okay.
That's pretty insane unless you like literally live at the park.
Yeah, that's true.
I see Kyle's in the chat. I think I kind of blew his mind earlier. He hunted me, and I heard him throw out his call sign, and I got a park to park right after it. So I called the park to park first. And when I got done with the park to park, I immediately said, "Astronaut 0 Zanzibar." And there was a little pause, and then he started talking and threw out a signal for it.
I was like, "Oh yeah, that's me, isn't it?"
I was like, "Watch me blow his mind." I hate.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
If you have an eagle's nest, which is 100 parks, if you have 5 parks, you're called a park supporter. You have 10 parks, you're called a park roamer. And then 15 is traveler, 20 is navigator, and 25 is master explorer.
Jesus.
That's the number of parks you've activated, or the number of parks
That's the number of parks you have eagle's nests in, 100 activations.
Wow.
25 is wild.
That's a lot of POTA.
2,500.
That's a lot of POTA, man. Sheesh. Oh, gosh.
I might have my next year's goal.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, God.
It's funny, man. People, I literally, the other night before I did Chief Logan, I was looking it up to see who the hunter leaders was. And November 3, X-Ray Lima Sierra had already had 80 contacts there. So he had a fishing hole for a hunter at that park, which probably all 80 contacts were me. But there was like 4 more that was right coming up to it, and one of them actually hit it while I was there, and I congratulated him. He's like, "What? I didn't know I got that."
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Like, it's even wilder on the hunter side when you think about it. Like, to work the same park that many times.
Yeah, because you can't control that.
You can't control propagation. That's the biggest thing.
Well, you can't control somebody going to activate it.
That too. Yeah, you might be busy when they're there, or also the propagation is the huge factor.
I would say that the easiest park in America to get repeat offender on is Chief Logan.
Because you're there.
I mean, it's nothing for me to do it 3 or 4 times a week. You can have a repeat offender in a couple of weeks, you know.
Yeah, so I want to hear in the chat too, where you guys plan on doing field day. Kyle he's doing 3 or 4 clubs for a field day in the late afternoon, but he's not doing POTA. I don't think most people are going to be doing POTA on Saturday. That's
sinners.
Well,
no.
I won't be Saturday, but I will Sunday.
Yeah.
It'd be a good idea to set up inside of a park and do field day.
Well, see,
so you call it CQ field day, and then just take that log and send it into POTA. We might do that next winter field day, next January. We're talking about it.
See, winter field day, it's only my club, and where I'm the vice president, and I got a say in where we go. So we did that last winter field day. We just set in the POTA park, and then there's a club activation, and then you just turn it in for the separate operators, and you get that. But with summer field day, we do it in conjunction with another club. So
I'd like it if my my club did it at a park, because I think that also gives the exposure too. Because everyone goes to the park on the weekend. If you go there during the week, no one's gonna be there. And especially that weekend, third weekend in June, all the schools are out. Like the kids are usually home. You're not on vacation by then yet, generally. So, it's like the perfect opportunity to do like some public outreach.
I mean, technically, I don't have to leave the park, because I can do Saturday's activation Friday night after UTC kicks over. I can do Saturday's activation then, and then do Sundays after we leave field day Sunday. But where I'm trying to stay ahead of the digital lords and QSOs, the guys that are doing 4 and 5 forfers every day.
Yeah. Well, and it's going to be easier to call CQ field day than it will be to call CQ POTA on Saturday afternoon anyway. So we were out at Galveston Island State Park one time, and it was a contest weekend. I forget what contest it was right now. It was one of the CQ Worldwide contests, I think. But 20 meters was just chocked full of contesters.
Yep.
Calling. So I'm like, hey, the bands are up. Let's go to 17. So we made, Mike and I were out there, and we made, 50 to 100 contacts each on 17 meters. And that was pretty fun. Especially you can get a little bit better DX on 17 meters usually. So, But since you can't use 12 or 17 for contesting, technically, and go to drop down those bands, you can work POTA all day long. So that's kind of a neat way to do it. But if you want to call it, if you just want to, I just thought it'd be cool to just go to a park and say, okay, I'm at a park, and just call CQ Field Day.
Yeah.
And then every now and then say, oh, by the way, yeah, we're at a park too. It's Kilo blah blah blah, and so look for your activation on the POTA website. But thanks for the Field Day contact. So,
well, that's a good thing about POTA too. You don't have to tell them you're in a park. All
not
you have
really.
to do is make contacts.
Yeah, not really.
Any contact, as long as you're not over a net or something, count for. I mean, like when I first started POTA, I'd be in places with no signal, couldn't spot. And nobody knew my call back then, and it was hard to get people. I've literally went around and just found random people rag chewing and get into log with them and get my 10 and get out before.
Yeah, I might actually hit a park right before Field Day starts. Like it starts 2 p.m. Eastern, so I was thinking about going there like noon Eastern. Everyone's gonna be setting up looking for like
it's true
who's on the band, and you just sit at a park and activate for a couple hours, and you could probably bang in quite a few contacts.
That's a good idea. I think I'll have the hex beam set up by then. I think I'll probably do some hunting Saturday morning. That's a good idea.
That's a great idea. I think I'll do that. I'll do 2 late shifts Friday night and do 2 or 3 before I go to Field Day, and then just go to Field Day, and then Sunday when I leave, go do 2 or 3 parks, and I should have good contacts for the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know. It's just my thought process is like all these old timers could be out there setting up like 3 hours ahead of time, making sure everything works. And I could just sit in a park and be their little single beacon for them.
That's right. It's a good idea.
Speaking of parks on the air, I can tell everybody that the self-uploading is one step closer to coming out now.
I saw that.
It's went through the initial all the people who does the logs for people use it, and now it's been released to certain beta testers. I happen to know one. And
how's it working out for you?
You happen to know too. They emailed me yesterday.
Did they? Nice.
I haven't gotten anything. I replied back and said yes, I'm interested, but
I haven't got the
access to it.
I haven't got the access yet, but I figured they'll give it to us by Monday or so.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
it'll be
gonna be good fun stuff.
Yep.
See you later, Mike. He's said he's going to be doing some POTA on Field Day weekend, so we'll look look for that. And Kyle says he can't wait for the self-upload. I think we're all in the same boat, man.
Hey, Mike, before you take off, make sure and catch my Monday video. You might see a picture of yourself on there. Yeah, I gotta send Frank the link probably when I get off here. I've got it ready. I just had it released for Patreons to check out. Good. I did Hamvention the POTA experience. So pretty much every POTA hunter that came up to me and wanted to meet me and stuff at Hamvention, that there's probably a picture of you in this video. So
yeah. Kyle asked you, James, I don't know if you know the answer to this. Have they addressed re-uploads, or is it just the same upload?
Right now, the re-uploads have to be done by the log coordinators. I don't know if they're going to change that. Hopefully they will. But right now, like if you mess up and send something in wrong, the log coordinators have to pull it back out, and then you can resubmit it.
All right, yeah, that's good to know. So something's not right. Yeah, I got that file, by the way, Hayden.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. He sent me the little file for that thingy-mabobber headphone holder.
No.
Have you been 3D printing anything cool, James?
I don't know if you can see it or not.
I can see it. I don't know what it is.
That, if you've never paid attention to Eagle One, I really hate their little metal clips that come up to hold the wiring when the antenna is not in use. So this is a lot bigger. You can't really see it, but it's got grooves right here, and you can run a zip tie through this. It goes around it,
Nice.
and it hopefully it's going to be a lot better. I'm going to stick it on there in a little bit and start testing it.
That's awesome.
Good.
I planned on doing like a little project where I was gonna 3D print a antenna winder, or just something like some simple piece of ham equipment out of photopolymer and then PLA, and do like a torture test of each one and see which one stands up longer.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I'd like to see that myself.
Yeah, because what's interesting, I mentioned this. I don't remember where I mentioned this, but on the ham radio guide, whatever it's called, by ARL, they have a whole section in there about 3D printing.
Mhm.
It's kind of short, but something that they did include there's interesting was the RF, like how RF dissipation in the different materials.
Mm.
So,
Hmm.
yeah, I want to start playing with those materials too.
You talk about the handbook?
Yeah, ARL handbook. Yeah, they have a section in there.
Yeah,
about...
they did add. I remember they added that section. I haven't read that section, but I know it's in there.
Yeah, I read through it briefly, and like a lot of the stuff is just basic 3D printer knowledge, like stuff you could kind of learn on YouTube or just in general, which is good. But you know, they did include a lot about resin-based printing. It's mostly about FDM printing, so it'd be interesting to kind of see. Like, I don't have the equipment to like test RF dissipation across materials and stuff like that, but you know, I could do like, here, I'm gonna hold a lighter up to it and see how long it takes to melt.
Yeah.
That'll go pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, you know, with like what is it? I think it's PLSA. That stuff's supposed to go up to like 300 degrees Celsius. Okay. So, yeah, some of the materials out there are pretty good. Like, and they're not super expensive. But you know, the problem becomes with those materials, like you have to really fine tune your printer.
Yes.
To like make sure stuff comes out properly. Because like with PLA, it's super forgiving, but with like some of these more advanced materials, like you really have to be fine tuned. So it's kind of tough on like the type of printers most of us have here, I think. But James probably has the best chance of all of us. He is the best printer here.
I've been using PLA Plus mostly instead of the PLA. They say it has a little more heat retention, but I haven't played around with that yet. Or heat resistance.
I mean, I guess here in Maryland, you're not too worried about it, but like 1 or 2 days a year, you have to be like, is it gonna melt? I guess down where Jason is, though, that'd be a different story.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all print me up some stuff, and I'll go hang it in a tree at the hunting lease and give you a report on how well it works.
Well, you know, I have some like 3D printed insulators on my dipole right now, and they're just PLA, and they're working fine.
The real test is to set it in the dashboard of your vehicle behind the windshield.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
I've melted a couple of hot spots that way. And
I
left them up there by mistake. I'm like, oops. They still worked, but like the 3D printed case or the plastic case on the outside of it, I was like, yep, that's gone.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, here it gets pretty hot, but it doesn't get Texas hot. So
yeah,
we kind of don't have to worry too much about it. I guess James kind of the same boat too.
Yeah. I don't want Texas hot. Like, it gets hot enough here for me. That's like my mom. She tries to get me to move to Florida all the time. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, humid there too.
I'm like, I'll come down and stay a month in the winter and do some POTA, but
see, the winter, the cold is what I don't want.
Yeah,
I can live with the hot. The cold, no, thank you.
It's like I say, I'm as far north as I want to go, and I'm as far south as I want to go.
Yeah.
The only thing we're going to do is move east to West Virginia or west to West Virginia, and we'll be good.
I will say, like, while like I didn't particularly enjoy living on the West Coast for certain reasons, the one reason I did like was the weather. I lived in like the Puget Sound area of Washington. The weather was great like all year. Like summer, it'd be like highest would be like 85 degrees, but the winter was actually really mild. Like it was like 40s, 50s all winter. It just rained a lot. That kind of sucked, but yeah, it was pretty cool living up there, especially with ham radio. The Pacific Northwest, because you get a lot to like Japan and like over there in Asia. Heck, I could talk to people in like Canada on VHF. I was so close to the Canadian border.
I've noticed Hawaii's been on a lot more here in the last week or so.
Yeah, the propagation's been pretty decent.
I'm still not hearing them, but they're on.
Yeah.
Well, I actually could hear a POTA station in Poland on Thursday.
Really?
Yeah, on 20 meters. Like I could barely hear them. Like I'm not gonna make the QSO with 20 watts, but I could hear them.
You'd be surprised what 20 watts will do.
Yeah, it's just the bands were like kind of garbage at that point.
Oh yeah, after the solar flare.
Like I heard them for like 5 minutes. He just faded right out. But then like 5 minutes later, I had a station in Belfast coming in 5.9. So
Nice.
The conditions have been a little weird. We'll see how it goes for field day. That'll be interesting.
I once worked a ham radio operator that was 20 miles from Winterfell. And if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I went kind of fanboy on him when he was telling me this. It wasn't in POTA or nothing. I was just out there calling CQ, and I talked to him, and that was pretty cool just to talk to somebody from that area.
Yeah, I always get a kick whenever I get DX when I'm doing POTA. Sometimes I'll hunt them too. Like if I'll tune up and down the band, like, oh, there's a DX station. Let me go work a new country real quick.
It always messes with me when they hunt me when I'm doing POTA, because I'm in this rhythm and stuff like that, and then they throw this really weird call out, and I don't think I'm hearing something right, and I make them repeat it, and then I make them repeat it again. I'm like, oh shit, that's DX. The one guy from Spain is the worst, because
Golf India Bravo.
When he says one, it sounds like he's saying Guam. Sounds like he says Echo Alpha Guam, and I'm like, what?
But I know what you're talking about.
I got used to him finally. The first 3 times he worked me, it drove me insane.
Yeah, like I've learned like a lot of those DX guys like that repeatedly hunt you. Like you just kind of like hear them in the noise too, and they're down there. Like it's like, oh, that's Mike down there, CU3HY. It's like you could just hear him down in the noise. Like, oh, that's Mike.
It's all about the tone of their voice and stuff. That's just like I'm waiting for the guy from Pennsylvania to ask me one day. He never throws out his call sign. He says QRP, and I'll be like QO2 Yankee India Yankee. And I give him his call signal, and he comes back to me. But I know he's wondering, like, how the fuck do you know my call sign when I think QRP?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You break the pile up how you need to break the pile up. Just say something funny,
Right. True.
Yeah, I got what is it?
Quiet, no talking.
The 2 Donuts guy. Is it King Kong 2 Donuts or something like that?
I'm not sure who you're talking about.
Is that AC200?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's 2 Delta, but I think it's KK2D or something. I'll look at them the other night, last night's log. I said, is this frequency in use? And all of a sudden this guy said, it's free, James. Are you still in 57056? I said, no, I'm in a new park. And so he got me in my log, but he called that call sign out. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Let's see what it was.
Yeah. Like sometimes I wish ICP would come back Insane Clown Posse.
Insane Clown Posse. That's good.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Bruce.
Yeah.
I told him that once. I'm like, you need to start calling out Insane Clown Posse whenever you're hunting.
Yeah, that's good.
Although I will say I haven't done my call sign phonetically yet as POTA by example. Although that would be, I think by is just kind of hard to hear, but I still think it's Y.
Yeah.
But I always enjoy it when people come back with like funny ways to say their call sign.
Mm-hmm. I have a funny way to say my name. I say Jason, and most of the time I say Juliet, Alpha, Sierra, Oscar, November. But sometimes I'll say July, August, September, October, November.
Oh yeah,
That's a good one.
Because that fits perfectly.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So hello to Frederick Strickland, KF3EMS. I'm wondering if you are. Well, you do have an EMS thing, so yeah, it looks like you probably are another EMS. We have Preston Roberts. We have K2EXE. Wonder if you play with computers with that call sign.
Windows machines for sure.
Yeah. And then Preston wants to know what we're talking about today. We're talking about Field Day and POTA and what people's plans are for Field Day and just whatever else kind of comes to mind.
I'll be honest, I didn't know we had a topic until I showed up.
Well, I thought the natural thing would be to talk about Field Day. What everyone's going to be doing for it.
Honestly, I found out that we were starting to stream back up the other night when I was watching Jason's live stream, and you started. Yeah, this Sunday we're going to be doing Ham Radio Campfire. I was like, oh, cool.
Good. Yeah.
I thought I told you last year. Or not last year, last week. Wow. Last week. Tell I'm tired. Yeah, last week. I thought I told you. But yeah, so EXE is a hacker by trade. That's interesting. What's up, W6HER?
If you want to show your true hacker skills, find out where my stalker lives. Because I want to go give his mom some headphones so she don't have to hear him when he lives in the basement.
Well, I told
just
you,
mail
man.
him some Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Oh, listen, I made David from Canada crack up because he contacted me at one park and he said, "You're 5'9" even over the broadcast station." And I was like, "Oh, that's not a broadcast station." I was like, "That's a dude that lives in his mom's basement and he just likes to play music for me." So then the next activation, he said, "Oh, I hear your buddy's still here playing music for you." And I said, "Yeah, his mom's about to put him to bed." And David just lost his stuff. I mean, the dude literally goes to the POTA page, the spotting page, and waits for me to come on. And just literally, and the thing is, if you're
probably has a ham alert for you.
If you're going to try to jam me, get a better station, dude. Like,
yeah,
I'm blasting over top of you, and the hunters are coming back fine. We're just enjoying the music you're playing.
Yeah, it was really pleasant yesterday. Working you with the nice soothing sounds in the background.
It's my POTA dance party.
One of these days, I'll listen in and try to do some triangulation with WebSDR.
Oh, listen in at the very end when I call last call. That's when he normally gets mouthy.
Yeah, EXE said Ham Radio Crash Course did a video. Yeah, that's how I learned how to do it from him actually. KI6NAZ Josh. Yeah, so one of these days I'll listen in and see if I can get that working. Let's see. Craig says he's still recovering from surgery. Oof. Hopefully you're all right. Standing to take 2 meters calls on his new FT 2980 that Larry from RNL sold him. Jason gets the credit, but it works to be nice to get a discount. Yeah, so I guess he's saying he's going to be doing 2 meters on Field Day. So, yeah, that sounds tough. VHF sounds tough. Because it's kind of like once you work like the 10 or 20 stations around you just kind of sit around and wait, hope something else pops up.
Mm-hmm.
It's always 2-meter sideband.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a while. It was a lot of fun.
They're
Last
talking.
solar cycle.
They're talking about getting a satellite station up for a pass, because that's an extra 100 points.
I suspect Frank will try that again, but we'll see.
Will he be successful? That is the
Exactly.
question.
Exactly.
Well, what is he using? Is he using like a Baofeng or?
He's using well, he does have a Baofeng. He has a UV82, I think. But he's used those Oshang radios, Waxen radios, because the UV9 series is you can listen on one and transmit on. They're full duplexing. I'm trying to say. So I don't remember if he actually bought one of those or if he was using someone else's last time. But I plan to take my new. It's back there. Better Safe Radio just come out with a brand new version of the UV9 called the UV9 PX Papa X-ray, and I'm going to take it and do a little bit of range testing with it at the lease for field day. So I plan to let him use that. I'm like, here, use this, see if it's any better, and see if you can get it. But so fingers crossed.
I feel really sorry for y'all if he makes a contact at field day.
Why is that?
Y'all won't hear no other contacts because he'll be going around screaming.
That's true.
I really enjoyed watching the guy down at Hamcation when we were all out there.
Yes, that was fun.
He did a really good job, and he had the speakers hooked up to where everybody could hear the transmissions and everything. It's
right.
Good. That was good stuff.
K6ARK is on 6-meter FT8.
6 meters is open, I guess.
Adam is funny because you start talking to him about FT8, he's like, FT8. But then I see him on Hamler doing FT8 all the time. I'm like, what are you doing, man? That now than FT8, then I get ham alerts that you're on FT8 all the time.
You know, he's getting in his new antenna up. He's saying, look, I made a contact 2,000 miles away with it.
Yeah.
Look, I really like FT8 because here's the thing.
I do too.
When I'm out doing these roves, I can hit a drive-through and get my food. I get to the park and I sit up and I start FT8ing while I eat. And when I get done eating, I go to sideband.
It's a good idea. We did that. I think this was the first time I did FT8. It might not have been the first time, but one of the first times I did FT8. We went to Lake Texoma State Park, which is on the north side of Lake Texoma, which is in Oklahoma. And we camped. We took the old trailer out there. Frank and I did, and one or two other guys came up and met us for the day and left. And we camped there for like 2 nights. So we were there for 3 days. So I sat there and called CQ POTA like all day long, and it was a fun thing to do. But I got tired of talking. I was like, tired of keying up the mic and I was like, I can do FT8. So I just sat down with FT8 and just did FT8 for the remainder of the day. So that was, it's real fun to do that when you are just kind of sick of picking up the microphone. So
yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't replace what I do with
of course not.
It. Because I mean, I for one, I get bored, but it's really good for like when like I said, when I want to eat or something like that, or give my voice a little bit of rest. I've done 5 or 6 parks straight, and I want to give it a rest.
Yeah,
and it's also good for that really dead time of the night at like 2:15 to 3:30ish when you can't hardly get sideband contacts. You can still get FT8. I have done an activation like that.
Those people running war criminal mode all night to get
that's right.
contacts.
That's right. Yeah. The N8YO special. Yep.
Yeah.
So but I mean, and I like pulling up my POTA page, my POTA profile, and seeing more than just sideband in there.
Yeah.
So I like to say, it's got some digital, got some sideband. Once I learn CW, I'll be.
I'm up to 10. I'm up to 10 CW contacts on my POTA page now.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
I'm only 7 behind you, James.
Only 7 behind me.
I'll catch up.
Yeah.
You better hurry because once I get it down, I'll start activating on it, and then it's over.
Yeah.
Like CW has been a big inspiration. I'm saying POTA has been a big inspiration for me to learn CW.
Yes.
Because
same here.
Like they have like all these little QRP kits out there, and like if you were going like on a plane trip somewhere and there's parks and it's like you just want to do a quick activation, you get one of those little QRP radios, a little paddle, a little end fed you could toss in a tree, and be good to go. Yeah, look at you.
Oh, that's your key, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's one of Adam's.
Yeah, I've got a bigger one too, but I mean, there's my other one, but but if I want to go hiking or something like that, it's definitely going to be this little bad boy.
That's the N3ZN. I forget which model it is, but he sent me that. I told him I was going to start taking CW Academy again or Long Island CW Club. I don't know which one. Maybe both actually, but
I really enjoy Long Island CW Club because they've got so many different classes.
Right. Like, that's what everybody tells me. I've never done one from them, but that's what I'm told.
Like before I went to Florida, I was taking one and I was getting it a little bit, but not as much. When I just recently started another one with another teacher, and maybe it's because he knows me because he hunts me in POTA and he pushes me a little harder. He'll call me out on the stream like, "Hey, what'd you get for that?" So maybe it's that, but I seem to be learning it better this time.
So Jason, this might be a good question on you. Do you have any advice on doing packet?
I haven't done packet in years. I'd like to try to pick it up again and do something. I know Josh has some videos on packet because he runs a full-time packet station at his home QTH. So I think he's got some stuff on that, but I've never actually done a video on packet, and I probably haven't done packet in 20 years.
Which, by the way, Preston, by Josh, he means Ham Radio Crash Course.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're looking for the YouTube channel, just look him up. You won't have trouble finding him.
Is packet like WinLink?
Kinda, but packet is basically APR, what the predecessor to APRS. So I used to use an MS-DOS program called PackTerm. Now that would work in Windows, but you just open up a DOS prompt, go to the drive, and packterm.exe or whatever it was. So, and now this was before the days of instant messaging, like AOL instant messaging and Yahoo Messenger, which were some of the first ones. You could real-time keyboard to keyboard instant message someone on your computer through your radio. So I could sit here in Grapevine and I could put up on 2 meters. We do it on 2 meters.
Oh wow!
And put up an antenna on 2 meters, and somebody else in the same city I'm in, or maybe a couple cities over, I'd be typing a command and it'd throw out a CQ, and you get messages back, and it'd be real time instant messaging. So that was a thing back. I was doing that back in the late 90s. So it was fun back then. You can also do like beaconing and weather reports and kind of what APRS does now type thing.
Okay.
But it can do a lot more than that too. That's just what I used to do with it. Yeah. But it would be a fun thing to pick back up again and try. I've been wanting to do that. I hadn't got around to it yet.
So Paul, there's nothing required as far as special as you got to do. Something like when I do it, I call CQ POTA. Mm-hmm. And in my comments, I'll put thanks from Kilo dash whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's not required. You can just do a regular FT8 contact and turn it in for your POTA log.
What's awesome is you don't even have to call CQ. You could just hit the stations already calling CQ and get a successful activation.
True. Well, I mean that's the same. That's the same with sideband. There's been times when on busy contest weekends and I can't find a spot, I just go around and start hunting contest stations. Right. Get my things and then move on.
If I fire up the FT8 station here, and everything James said is correct, but I like calling CQ POTA on FT8 because when I fire up my station at home and I'm looking through all the stations calling CQ, if I see someone calling CQ POTA, I'll go back to that guy first. Like, it's a POTA. God. So I think people are nerdy like me and like seeing that. But yeah, technically speaking, you just work 10 contacts from the park and turn it in. So
I mean, I do it too. I call CQ POTA, but funny story where most of the POTA people know my call sign. When we were down at Hamcation, dude handed me the Coffee and Ham radio antenna, and he's like, "Here, run this on FT8 and try to burn it up." And I was like, "Okay, cool.
Okay, cool."
So we're in the parking lot, and I'm just running FT8, and then I think my first contact was Germany on it. But the next thing I know, all of a sudden, my screen's lighting up, and I'm getting a pile up. And I'm like, why am I getting a pile up? And I start looking. They're all POTA people. And I'm like, I'm not in the park, y'all, but let's do it.
Sorry, not in the park today, but yeah.
But yeah, they were all jonesing when I was at Hamvention because I was only doing early morning or late night.
Yeah.
Do you ever call CQ from home, James?
No. I don't even know why I hook it up. I really do. It's because when I'm talking to people on chat like this, a bunch of POTA people like the Patreon after chat, we'll sit on Patreon after chat and we'll all hunt people while we're on screen.
While we're on the after chat.
Yeah, it would be pretty funny if you did, because I think people would try to spot you.
Yeah.
Dude,
what park are you at?
I can't go QRT, man. I'll go QRT and people will respot me like 10 times.
I've had that happen to me. Yeah. Well, or Mike and I will go out to, or Frank and I will go out to a park. Usually it's Mike and I. And Mike will spot me and I'll CQ. And I was like, okay, we're going to turn it over to another operator. Everybody stand by for a minute. Kate Ermini is coming on. So he'll start calling CQ. And then like 5 or 10 minutes into it, like, hey, thanks, Jason. Thanks for the contact. I'm like, dude. So people are respotting me. They think they're talking to me. He's like, no.
The same thing happened. I went out to Kentucky. Mike from Michigan, the guy that I call PP Man because he's Mr. QRPP. But he came down and wanted to do an activation with me, and we did that. I was like, all right, next operator, I'll be back in a little bit. And he had like 3 contacts where he's like, all right, thanks, James.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Well, that's a good point that Paul had. Do you put the park number in the CQ? As a hunter, when I hunt FT8 parks, activators doing FT8, I have the spots pulled up and I look at what park they're in.
Yeah.
That kind of helps my hunter log a little bit to match up parks with who's activating.
Yeah, unfortunately, like in the message line though, there's not enough space.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
I do CQ POTA, and then like I said, and when the box comes up to log it in the comments, that's where I put kilo -1810, and then every time one logs, it says thanks from kilo 1810. Thanks from kilo 1810.
And that's why PSK 31 is superior to FT8.
Well,
hey, I'd be okay with using that if there were people actually responding.
Yeah,
I've done it once. There are people out there now, not like it was last solar cycle. Most of my DX contacts were PSK because I had a 5-watt radio.
I might try. That'd be a fun thing to try. I might try some PSK at my next POTA activation.
I want to try JS8 call, but the thing is, I don't even know if it's set up right because I can't get nobody to respond when I'm just testing it.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember if I've done JS8 call or not at a POTA. But that would be that would be a really good one because you can actually chat over that one. So
right, I would enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the goals for this year for me is do an SSTV activation.
Nice.
Like take pictures of the park and stuff and send that over SSTV.
That'd be fun.
Like I could go down to one of the monuments, take a bunch of pictures, and just send it on the computer.
That would be fun.
Yeah, Paul, thanks for stopping by. Hope you learned something about doing FT8 at the park. Yeah, I think we're actually gonna start wrapping up because you have to go to your stream in a bit, huh, Jason?
I got an hour, but I do need to set some stuff up. Yeah.
I think Summit's coming on in like 10 minutes anyways.
Is he he might be today. I didn't remember. I think he and Frank kind of switch off, so
one of the two. Either him or Frank.
But I don't think Frank's confused. Going today, so let me see.
Oh. It's Charlie.
Charlie has a stream in 10
Charlie
minutes.
is coming up here. So if you guys don't watch Charlie, I don't know why you don't. So you need to go watch Charlie.
Share his link in the chat there.
Yeah. Look him up real quick. Yeah, he does soda stuff, which is like POTA but really high up.
Mm-hmm. He's talking about field day today though. I've got his page pulled up right now. So
I wish Soda would update their logging system because typing in every contact to log it is ridiculous.
I haven't tried it yet, but I need to. I have one soda near me.
I mean,
I've done 2, and I enjoy it. I just don't have anything. Yeah, the closest one to me is 2 or 3 hours away.
Yeah. We don't get to live in West Virginia there, like certain people, where every 10 feet is another mountain.
That's right.
So
That's right.
Yeah, well, you got 20 meters because you don't live in West Virginia too. So
yeah. Weird question, but if they blow up the top of a mountain, does it still count?
I mean, if it was on the summit page, I guess it would still count.
Because that actually happens where he lives. So they blow up the top of the mountain to take coal out of it.
Listen, top of the mountain activations are fun. When you see me in Cabway lingo, I am on top of the world. Let me tell you.
Oh, I mean, I don't doubt it's probably awesome.
Yeah, I've had a couple people like, "How in the world are you getting a cell phone signal at Cabway lingo?" I was like, "Top of the mountain."
Do you get better propagation up there versus like if you're in like a park on the side or in?
I can do 20 meters and stuff up there. It's just when I'm down in the valleys, I can't do 20 meters.
Yeah, unless you set up NVIS. But even then, I don't know. You probably have enough hunters in West Virginia and Pennsylvania to do NVIS.
Dude, I have no problem with 40.
Yeah.
I have a problem getting out of the park, let alone.
Oh, Evan's saying help in the chat. I think he's just typoed.
I think he meant hello.
Yeah. By the way, James, yeah, you need to learn how to spell the word channel, I guess.
I need to learn what?
How to spell the word channel, I guess. Because you have on your page, on your YouTube page, I was going to link it in the description, like, you put Chanel, YouTube Chanels.
That's that fancy YouTube.
Yep.
It don't surprise me, man. It don't surprise me. It's caused this crap right here. This thing changes stuff to the most stupidest. It's supposed to, when it spell checks you, it's supposed to make sense, but they don't.
I'm gonna buy you a dictionary one day. So you just carry it around, you know.
Or a Bluetooth keyboard.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna drop. Thanks for the invite, Pat.
Yeah, no problem. Come back whenever you want.
Cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Jason.
See you
later.
Take care, Jason.
Later.
All right. Yeah, I think we're all gonna start dropping here. So I have pizza upstairs. It's getting cold. Oh, that's a good. So Craig, I have a budget set up. I should do a video on that. That is. Yeah, it's about around $600. I have a setup that's about $600, all the gear included. It's not every band, but actually, you know what? It could be all band. It could be. Yeah, I have a $600 setup. Just brief and dirty of it is a Zygu G90, which is a 20-watt radio. I have ham sticks, which are a cheap option. They're like $30 each. Just get one for 20, 40. You're good to go. That's like what, $60 in antennas plus the mount is like $30, so $90 in antennas, $400 for the radio. Get yourself, if you want to go a little bit over 600, a Bio-Eno battery. That's what I use, the 9 amp hour Bio-Eno. It doesn't die like ever. If you need to go cheap, you could just get an SLA off of Amazon for $20. It's gonna be heavy, but it's gonna work. And if you're willing to go a little bit heavier on the antenna budget, Eagle One's an option if you have like a truck and a hitch. What you guys, James, all about that. But if you don't, you can get with a tripod. It is a beefy unit, so you do have to have a little bit of space. And like if you're walking into the woods, it's not the greatest option, but it's a good antenna. If you want something that's even more portable, you could go with a buddy stick, but you could pay a little bit more for that. Yeah,
or
I'll
Wolf
do
River Coil.
Wolf River Coil too. Yeah, they're about the same price, I think.
No, Body Stick's more.
Is it?
The Buddy Stick Pro is more, yeah.
But the Pro.
I think I paid, don't quote me on this, but like 170 for my whole Wolf River Coil setup.
That sounds about right.
And that's with the extra set of radials. So I had 6 total radials instead of 3.
Yeah, I have to pick one of those up.
I told you, come meet me in the park. I'll let you play around with mine.
Yeah.
I hardly use it anymore.
Someone's giving me a Scorpion, which is by Scorpion. Like one of those, like, it's made for mobile, but you can use it at home where it's like push. Well, yeah, it's exactly kind of what you would need. It has like the little button and it goes up and down like the Tar Heel, but it's bigger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A screwdriver antenna.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get. That's the word I was trying to use, and I couldn't think of it. But yeah, Craig says he's disabled, so it'd be push-up mast or something similar. Eagle One is that. It's definitely a push-up mast. How could someone in a wheelchair put that thing up, James?
Would be hard.
Tar Heel's a good one. I think it's a little pricey though, if I'm not mistaken. But Tar Heel, I think, does 10 to 40. Maybe. I don't think it does 80.
I think that. Well, then you got the ATAS 120 that does. I think that does 2 meters and 440 in all of HF.
Huh. So yeah, there's some options. Like antennas is going to be your biggest delineating factor because almost everyone's going to tell you the same radio, probably the same power supplies. You know, either get a bio-NO with a lithium iron phosphate, but it has like all the stuff in there to keep your radio safe. Like it has like a circuit board in there, so it could be like, oh, there's too much voltage going out, to shut itself off, or if it gets too hot, too cold, it'll shut itself off. Yeah, your antenna is going to be your biggest, kind of what fits you best in the parks you're going to.
I would say if you're in a wheelchair and you were going to set up an Eagle One, you'd have to lay it down vertically across your lap, and put it out, and then you'd have to turn it up and stick it in. I mean, because it's not that heavy even when it's fully extended.
Yeah.
Because I've had to do some weird things when sections fell from the top and stuff because I didn't tighten them enough. But
well, that would be a good video idea for you and me, James, saying like, "Here's my budget setup," and oh, how long has it been since you used the G90?
A couple months. Yeah, a couple months. I did a 1 watt activation on it a couple months ago.
Nice. Yeah, that's probably the best budget radio that's out there, like sub 500. Yeah, that's gonna be your biggest cost too, is the radio. You could get like a 60, not 6. Is it 6600? The new one that Jaigo's coming out with.
No,
6100.
Replacing the 5105. Yeah.
6100.
No, 6100. That's the one with the screen, right? Like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a new one. Like Jason had a video about it.
Oh, okay.
That's the one that all them guys are hacking.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the one that's replacing the 5105. And I think it does up to 10. It has internal power. I think it's only going to start at like 370 or something.
I mean, you could go. There's ways you can even go cheaper than that, but
yeah.
Well, you figured you got the Yaesu 817, 818. I think you could get an 817 ND for about $300. It's a 5 watt radio, but
I was going to say you ain't going to get an 818
tuner. No, not an 818, but
well,
that was like when I first got my Eagle One. The only external tuner I had was for my 817. First contact was James. Second contact was Germany on 5 watts.
Well, the biggest thing with the new Zygu though is it's supposed to have an internal sound card. So it should be plug and play with a computer.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big thing if that's true. So, all right. Well, I don't want to run into Charlie's stream too much. I put his link in the chat. The link to James's channel is in the description. Go check out Charlie's channel and his stream. He does a lot of cool stuff with Parks on the Air, Soda. He's like super portable.
You people just looking to put a station together, if you're not subscribed to my channel, now is the time to just subscribe, because I'm very close to 1K right now, and once I hit 1K subscribers, I'm giving away at least 2 antennas. One of them will be an Eagle One, and one of them is a MFJ. I don't see it now.
Is it the end-fed?
It's an end-fed half wave. It's not the one that I had, Pat. But I got another one just like it now to give away.
Is it the 1984?
It's the 10 to 80, whatever. It's the MP.
I think that's the 85, maybe. Don't quote me. It's something like that.
Pat, technically, I have a channel too. I have one video on there.
Oh, okay. Well, you can subscribe to Hayden too if you want.
Yeah, come check it out. I did an assembly video of the Eagle One. I can't figure out what I'm going to do for the next video yet, but we're thinking on some things.
Yeah. Listen, once you move to West Virginia, you'll be closer to the Kool-Aid, and you'll start drinking the Kool-Aid, and the videos will just flow.
Yeah.
Well, my wife wants to get a bunch of those little mini goats, so maybe we'll have activations with mini goats.
Ooh, get fainting goats.
Oh yeah, that's it.
See how
RF affects them.
Every time somebody
antenna fainting.
Every time somebody that 10 over comes into this.
All right. Well, anyways, go ahead and cut the stream here since you all got your plugs away. So I wish everybody 7 threes. Look for all of us on the air on field day. I'll be Whiskey 3 Mike. Which station would be?
Whiskey 8, Charlie.
And are you doing field day, Hayden?
I'm going to visit a club here locally. I don't know if I'm going to be on the air, but I'll be out Saturday or Sunday in a park.
Okay, well, there you go. Look for Hayden in a park, and look for me in the park right before too. And as always, look for all of us in the parks during the week. 7-3, everybody, and have a great week.
73, everyone.
Later, guys.